Texas Metal Show. I'm your host, John fucking Winningham, and on this episode, we talk to DOOMSTRESS and Supergrave. Before we begin this episode that we recorded at the Hatch LGBTQ youth benefit we did a couple of months ago, I just want to talk about Hurricane Harvey. There's a man in the city of Houston that some of you might know by the name of Herman Garcia. He's involved in the metal scene here pretty heavily. He does the Sweet Nightmares now. He makes badass tamales. He does his own shows. You've probably been to them. You've probably met him. He's a great dude, and he lost everything he owns in the world. TexasMetalShow.com. Look at these show notes and find a link for his GoFundMe account they started, and donate a couple of bucks if you can. That would be fucking awesome. I'm pleased to announce on this DOOMSTRESS interview, we actually have brand new DOOMSTRESS, Bitter Plea, off some sort of upcoming split that they're doing. I do believe she talks all about that in the interview. Also, our first chat with Supergrave. I was really looking forward to it, although I really want to sit down and give those guys a good 45 minutes. Here it is. Check it out. Thanks for listening. So where are we at on the debut DOOMSTRESS album?
The record, well, we just did, recorded, me and Brandon and Tom, my brother, did all the rhythm and bass and drum tracks. And so all we got left to do, me and Brandon have to go back up there later this summer or early fall, whenever it works out that we can get up there and record guitar solos, a couple other little pieces with guitar and then vocals. So,
and then it gets all sent off to be mixed and mastered by somebody?
We'll be doing that while we're up there.
Okay.
So in studio, just like we did for the initial self-release and
it's going to be the same person doing the mixing and stuff?
Yeah. So us involved with it and everything, and then I'm sure we'll, probably then we have to send it out to get it mastered. So
you guys just got off of a tour. I know it's been
like 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks
about
ago,
a month, give or take.
Yeah.
And then you get off tour, then you scurry, what? Is it Idaho or Ohio?
Ohio. Yeah, we were here for a week, and then we left right away to Ohio.
To go start recording.
We did the tour in April, and we were home for, I think, 2.5 weeks. And then we did the tour in May, and then we were home for a week, and then we went up to Ohio to record for 2.5 weeks.
And after this show tonight, where are we at? We're at Walters right now, right?
Yeah.
For the Punk Metal Hatch Youth Benefit.
Right.
I'm not super familiar with Hatch. Do you know?
So they work with at-risk LGBT youth.
And so, what do they do? Like, what does Hatch do for these kids? Do you know?
Honestly, I'm not 100% certain all the things that they do or how they work their programs. So.
So probably have to talk to David, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to try to get him to sit down.
I'm familiar with the organization, but I haven't worked with them before, but I know their focus is primarily like youth from, I think, like teens or a little bit younger than that up until 17, 18.
The people who need it, the people I think who need it probably the most.
So.
And how did you get involved with this show?
Well, David messaged me about if I'd be knowing who I am and some of the things I've been involved with the past and everything, and being part of the LGBT community, and the metal and music scenes. I guess he just was like,
yeah, bring
contacted
it in.
me.
Let's
Was like,
go.
Hey, do you want to do this? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. It was like we can. It's kind of like I didn't get to do DOOMSTRESS Alexis Day benefit last year, and I wasn't going to be able to do it this year. I've just been too busy to focus on anything. So it's like this is perfect for that. It's like right around the same time, and I can just kind of just say we shifted it a little earlier, and we're doing this benefit. On June 25th instead of July 5th. So, just works out great.
After tonight's show, what is the plan for Doomstress? Obviously, you're going to go back off and do your guitar
Sleep.
solos and stuff. Lots of sleep, huh?
Yeah.
This is kind of a rest and like recharge
Yeah,
period.
yeah.
No big tours are coming up in another week.
No, we just got the July 22nd show with Black Pussy and Warlung from Houston's going to be playing that one as well.
I can't wait to have them on the show. Once they get recorded music, those guys will be sitting down and talking to us. I like them a lot.
But that's it on the books right now. Well, then we Stone Meadow of Doom in Omaha on September 30th.
Is that like a big stoner doom thing?
Yeah. So it's 2 days up there.
That sounds way
Bong
cool.
Rippers headlining night 1. They haven't announced the headliner for night 2, but we're playing after a couple weeks.
Yeah, you guys just turned that around. You guys were like, we're home, okay, and then we're gonna be gone.
And then so we can just kind of shoot out and do like 4 or 5 dates, come back, and and then we don't have to worry about like your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays can be really rough. So if you can go out for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then maybe a Sunday show and then just drive home, you not spending you don't have the early week shows where there's like nobody that comes out and stuff, so make the drives more worth it in these little deals. So
sorry, excuse me. So we're on track for a Doomstress debut album, record, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
How many tracks are we gonna get?
It's probably gonna be 6 or 7.
Okay.
So all originals. So
no awesome covers slapped on there just for fun.
No.
You already did that though. You already have your awesome covers.
Yeah,
I forgot
and I know
sorry.
a lot of people like on our initial release were surprised that we did 2 covers.
They were great covers though. You guys did an excellent job.
It was it was kind of like just us getting our thing out there. I mean, we had 2 weeks when we were up there, not the full time when we initially recorded that, to write songs and then learn some covers and arrange the covers. So it was like all in studio, and so we were like, rather than trying to come up with all the originals, putting all that pressure on ourselves, we want to do this and then show people what's different from Doomstress and what we've been doing with Project Armageddon, and I think that really showed. And then the covers kind of showed where we were coming from, what other influences we were drawing on that maybe people didn't realize we had and stuff. So.
And Project Armageddon, we're still on a hiatus.
Yeah, we're just on hiatus and break. Yeah, so
it's not over.
No,
It still exists.
Yeah, yes. As far as we're concerned, and stuff, and our talks with Ray too, is that it's just taking a break with that for a while. We did it for 7-8 years, and
you guys. Well, when Andrew introduced me to y'all, you guys were playing shows all the time. Yeah. Like we were always going to Fitzgerald's and seeing you guys. Like back when Fitzgerald's let us have shows.
And now we hardly play Houston.
Yeah, now you guys never play Houston. Well, that's not true. I'm sorry, everyone. That's not never. Very rare. Because we're going to see Doomstress here in just a little bit, hopefully. Second
yeah, we're
up?
on second. Yeah, Supergrave and NS.
So this last tour, what was... Do you have a show that happened that was like most memorable in your mind? What city did stand out to y'all?
There were a lot of great shows. One that really sticks out for personal reasons was Louisville. We played the Highlands Tap Room out there, and that's where we played on our first tour back in August when my brother drummed for us. And so we were playing a Monday night there, an industry night that they do, Metal Mondays. And so we had, my brother's band was like, hey, we're going to come down to see you, And I was like, well, maybe y'all can play the show.
Sparrow Milk,
Yeah,
correct?
Sparrow Milk. So we got them on the bill. And so that was really cool to play with my brother's band, again. And have them there at the same club. So it was kind of like, I remember my brother arranging the drums, and it was just kind of like, it's like, weren't we just here? It seemed like just yesterday. He was like, he's like, it seems like maybe it was just 2 weeks ago, but it was, last August. So that was really cool. Anytime I get to spend time with my brother and play music with my brother or do a show with him is really special to me. So
I recently got to experience playing music with my brother because I've been learning how to play guitar a little bit. And he came and hung out, and he was like, look, I'm going to teach you this really easy fucking, oh God, not Trouble, but St. Vitus. He's like, I'm going to teach you this real easy rhythm part of this St. Vitus song. I don't remember what it's called, and he shows me, and I start playing it, and he starts just jamming out, and I was like, I finally understand why our friends do this. Like, it was so much fun to just drink beer and just fuck around on guitar. Even though I'm not super great, but I can keep a rhythm if I'm shown.
Right.
I can keep a rhythm on time. It's fucking awesome.
Awesome.
So I might be overstepping, and I think we did this last time on the interview that was never released and probably will never be released, but there was supposed to be, like, some sort of split with Sparrow Milk. Doomstress and Sparrow Milk, is that still something that's happening, or?
Yeah, that's still in the works.
Okay.
So that'll probably be late this summer is what we're hoping for.
Okay, so that is still a thing.
Yes.
Awesome, because I'm looking forward to hearing that.
So.
And clearly you're on track to finish your debut album.
Yep.
You probably don't have a release date.
No, it'll probably be next year because
Okay.
it's getting vinyl pressed for it and stuff, and we just have the split EP that'll be coming out later this summer. So it'll be a hopefully like springtime 2018 release is what I'm hoping for.
And that split you're doing at the end of the year, is that going to be anything new, or is it going to be some covers, or what are we going to hear?
It's basically what we did is the initial EP that we put out.
Mm-hmm.
It's that remixed minus Wicked Woman from the 7-inch single, and then Bitter Plea that we recorded back in August, right before the very first tour when we were up there. Getting ready to do that tour, we wrote that new song, Bitter Plea, and recorded it.
I think I may have heard it, only because Brandon played me something in the car when we were at Tomas's bachelor party. He was like, here's some brand new Doomstress.
Yeah, that was it.
Don't remember what he called it. So, awesome. So we're going to get a little bit, something a little new to tide us over.
And then Rainbow Demon will be on it, but like I said, the songs are remixed and then and remastered for the vinyl with Kent, so that'll be cool. And
Kent Stump?
Yep.
From Wofat, who I love. I think I offended him on the internet, not purposely, like accidentally. We were talking about the price of digital music versus like hard copies, and essentially I was like, I have a hard time. Okay, so any of you who listen to the show or who may be listening now, we buy like 95% of the music that we play on Texas Metal Radio, just as the easiest way to get the music. I'm not going to be like, hey, can you give me your music for free? So I'll go to your Bandcamp page and spend $2 and get 4 songs, which is great. I love it. But every now and then you run into bands that will have like $10 digital albums, but they don't have anything else. I would rather spend $10 on a CD or $14 on a CD and get a digital copy and then get the CD. So I was like, I really have a hard time paying $10 for just digital content because you don't get anything with it.
Right.
And whether and Kent and I talked a little bit, and he was like, like heaven forbid the artists actually make any money. And I was like, I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, I will buy a $10 digital, but damn it, give me a vinyl or give me a CD or a tape or like something, or send me a booklet. Like, fuck. But maybe that's just an asshole way to look at it.
But they're touring right now at The Well, and they're playing Maryland Doomfest. I think they just played last night.
I want to fucking go see The Well and Wofat. We saw Wofat here just a couple of months ago.
Yep.
And there was a mosh pit at Walters for Wofat, which was really, really weird. I just thought Wofat is not a band in my mind that draws up pictures of people slamming into each other. But that crowd was a bit younger. I know because I sat on that bench over in the corner and watched the show because I was so fucking tired. Getting old sucks. Looking forward to hearing all the new Doomstress stuff, and obviously we will be buying whatever we can because we love you guys. Thanks for being on the show again.
Absolutely.
This interview will make it onto the show whether or not it's just a short interview or something.
So yeah, but after today, and then I switch gears back to Josephus now.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Let's talk about Josephus a little bit. So what's going on with that? You're the new bassist for this. Like, when I first met, I don't remember his name, but when you first introduced me to
Pete.
Yes, right. Pete. Yeah. You were like, these guys were like the Houston Black Sabbath back in the day. I think that's exactly how you introduced him to me.
Yeah. They were just coming out in the late 60s. 69 was their first release, and pioneering heavier rock, bluesy, heavy psych rock. So yeah, from down here in Texas,
So what are you going to be doing? I know you're playing bass with them, but what are you going to be doing with them?
We're recording a record, writing and recording a record with them.
All new original content?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they called me back when we were on tour in April. We were somewhere in the Southwest, and Dave, the guitarist, Dave Mitchell, called me, and he was like, "Hey, we want you to come play. If you're interested, we want you to come play bass for us. We're recording a new record and gig with us and stuff." And I was like, "Wow."
So could you
Yeah.
possibly be doing tours with them at some point in the future?
Yes, very possible. Very possible. So
That's going to be, I'm looking forward to talking to you with them as well. That's going to get some
and we'll actually be
classic Texas music.
Josephus will be playing Walters here at Independent Fest Day 2.
We will be here, and we'll have this set up too. So we're doing the whole independent thing just like we did last year, and we'll have shirts this time. We got
Awesome.
Smalls. I got
Okay.
Smalls on the list, so there'll
Cool.
be some small shirts. So what about you? We're doing work with what? We Are 138. Was who you were playing with the Misfits cover bands?
I was playing with We Are 138 and Godless. After I got the Josephus gig, we had a few shows that were booked up that I was obligated, had said I could play, and then those fell through, and I just felt that I couldn't put the time towards it. It was a lot of fun. The guys were great.
You have to prioritize.
Yeah, I had to prioritize. It was just too much on my plate, and so I told them back in, I guess it was, I think, May or April. I was like, hey, since all these other gigs, got canceled, I was like, I'm gonna step out at this moment, take this time to step out, so you guys can. They had another guy that was filling in. They already had to do that for a show when I was on tour, so. But yeah, I wish those guys the best, and hopefully they, do some more gigs because they were really good. So Juan's a great singer, great frontman with that stuff. So.
It sounds like the Doomstress future is bright. You have a lot of things on the horizon that are coming.
Yes,
That's
so
absolutely
I'm hoping
fucking
so.
fantastic. I'm glad somebody's doing well.
So.
We've been, I got a new job.
Yeah.
Same thing I've always done, just a different company, and now all I do is work, and it's taken the soul out of me. But we're making money. We'll have new shirts soon. Cool. And I've been talking to Ben about doing a Bayou Doom Fest or doing something together, and there's been some serious talk about it, so I'm hoping that comes up.
Cool.
I'm going to put a big picture of you somewhere. Like when people walk in, just a big or maybe get a cardboard cutout.
Like Fiddle Witch did for Jeff?
Yeah, because we're like, look, Dooms just can't be here, but like she's the reason I want to do this because you invite us to that one show, and then now here we are, 3.5 years later, talking on a shitty podcast about our awesome music. Thanks for talking to us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
Those fires and let 'em
blah, 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 blah.
Hello?
So the other night we went to go see this band called Baron Bomb Blast.
Oh, boy.
And they were like, going to the liquor store, liquor store. I love that song. By the way, I like that whole
Awesome.
I like that whole album actually.
That's our throwback to 12th grade, sneaking into my parents.
And getting what, shitty drunk on their
Shit,
booze?
Yes, and then refilling the bottles back
With
up
water?
with apple juice
Oh,
and water.
We did. We used to sneak into my buddy Johnny's house, or his dad. We used to drink his vodka, and then he'd top it off. He had to have known, right? Like Johnny's dad had to know we were filling his vodka bottles with water.
You would think that they would catch on to that.
Maybe they just didn't drink so much that they didn't.
Yeah.
So did they. They kept their shit in the freezer too, and we'd go steal it.
Well, then you would definitely know if you replace it with water, because vodka doesn't freeze and water freezes.
Right?
All right.
Supergrave.
Woo!
Welcome to the Texas Metal Show.
Right.
We've got Allison.
What's up?
We've got Andy.
Chaos.
And I apologize. My name's John.
Eve.
Eve, nice to meet you. And then
Adrian,
who's kind of off to the corner, and we probably won't hear him very much. So, let's treat this like a regular 45-minute interview. And why don't you guys tell me a little bit about how Supergrave became a thing?
Oh, wow. Supergrave started actually with me and Adrian. We hadn't even met yet, and I think it was L7 was coming back in town, or somebody was coming back in town, and we fell in love with the idea of going back to the early 90s kind of feel of heavy music. And so we started talking on Facebook and actually decided to get together. He sent me some songs and decided, I still had never met him, and we started the band online, and then but actually followed through with it and got together and practiced and wrote like 6 songs in the matter of a week or 2, and Supergrave was born.
Okay, so where are we at with like recorded music? Like, do you guys have anything recorded yet that people can get on the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Eve, you want to take that one? Where all our stuff is?
Yeah, where can
we-
people find your music on the internet?
They can find us on Supergrave at Reverb Nation, and also on Supergrave Bandcamp.
Bandcamp's our favorite.
Yeah.
We're huge. We love Bandcamp. Most of the music we buy to get on the show comes through Bandcamp. And if we actually do a Walters episode, like we want to try to release this as a whole episode, we'll play some of y'all's music, I'll go buy it.
Right on.
One day at band camp.
Yeah. What
there
happens
was-
at Bandcamp, Andy Chaos?
Anyway,
He gets lost in memories.
I'm actually really excited to see you guys because I've been aware of y'all making music for a little while now, but I have yet to actually come out to a show.
Right
Because
on.
we, well, you know, if I could go to every fucking show that played every night of the week, we would. It's definitely not something that can happen.
Right on.
So, what kind of music do you guys play?
Who?
Obviously, it might be hard to peg like a specific genre, but maybe we could kind of break down the sound if it's a little bit more punky, if it's a little bit more metal, or if it's a nice mix of the two.
Yeah, it's very crossover. I think it's a lot of influences from maybe Sabbath, Slayer, and apparently Nirvana.
Where does the Nirvana in? She looked over your way. No?
Because that's what I call one of our songs, the beginning of one of our songs.
Oh, okay.
But we do have a lot of influences from different types of music, but it is very heavy, and we like to bring the rock.
yeah, heavy crossover punk metal kind of a thing, like Adrian just said. You know, very much so. You know,
The crossover is one of those things
Yeah.
I have not explored a whole lot just because it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I stopped pirating music, and when you don't pirate music anymore, it's hard to just... Where do you get all your new records from? You gotta buy them. Well, when you don't have the fucking money.
I think that our music is somewhat 90s influence, but it's got a lot of tinges of like modern metal. So I just say post-punk / metal.
Yeah.
You know, it's
everything's so
sorta-
ambiguous. It's hard to really... I use a lot of generic genre terms because it's easier for me to compartmentalize everything in my own head if I can be like, oh, well, I can push you guys off into this specific type of music, even though maybe you don't completely encompass all of the values of what that music has to share with everyone.
I think that's kind of where we are. I don't think we are one category. You know, I think that we complement a lot of different types of bands, and we can kind of meld and mold into different lineups, and we're
loud
not
and
pigeonholing
extreme
ourselves.
So we talked a little bit about some metal influences. So what about non-metal? When you guys bring in the softer or more melodic side
Lots
of
of
the
indie
music?
stuff.
Anything in particular?
You know,
Sonic Youth,
lots of Sonic, I guess.
Cherubs.
I just listened to a really good interview, I think, with Kim from Sonic Youth on the WTF podcast.
Nice.
That was really fucking good. Because I'll be 32 this year. So,
Oh, wow.
So Sonic Youth, as far as that goes, I missed some of, like, I was just a
Yeah.
kid. I listened to a lot of shitty Christian music. Thanks, Mom. At that time in my life, you know, because you don't have a whole lot of control over what goes on. So, like, as far as Sonic Youth goes, I know that they exist, and I know at one point they were like this big thing, and now they're not around anymore, right? They don't really do anything.
No, I mean,
They still play-
they broke up, but they're all doing side projects.
They all still play music. They
Yeah.
just don't all play music as Sonic
Yeah.
Youth. That sounds
Right.
interesting. I'm really excited to see you guys to set today.
Yay!
Well, we've gotten into this bad habit of we go and see a lot of the same bands over and over again, and I keep telling Elizabeth, I'm like, we gotta start branching out and going to more of these like death metal shows and like going to more like the thrash metal shows of the White Swan. So
Yeah.
today is such a different mix of music that I don't listen to. So
See,
we're
and
looking
that's where
forward to
we
it.
like to be. We like playing with a bunch of bands that aren't exactly the same as us. Because if you go, like, say to a Doom show and you hear 6 Doom bands one night, you're gonna get ear fatigue, and eventually, you know, people are gonna walk away after hearing your second song. But that's why we like to keep it interesting. You know, we like playing with a punk band and then a pop band and
Friday
then
night, Bomb Blast played.
yeah.
You guys are way punky, but of course then they kind of have some of that little metal sprinkled in because of the people who are in your band. Obviously, you're going to get a little bit of
Yeah.
that. Then we had Witch Crier, who was more like traditional Doom, and then Monte
Yeah.
Luna,
That's
who
exactly
was
what
Doom,
we're-
but
Yeah, that was
not
a good
quite
show.
as classic. Yeah, that was a really
Oh my
good fucking
God.
show.
Like every band brought it.
I
that
think
night.
the biggest issue for me when I see a lot of shows, because we live in Houston and there's a lot of amazing shows that go on all the time, and this is something I've talked about on the show and we'll probably continue to talk about. You got your death metal show with your death metal and your black metal bands, and you got your thrash show with all your thrash metal bands, and sometimes you get a little black and thrash thrown in. Then all your doom and stoner bands all play together. Like, where the fuck are the shows where we mix like a punky band with like a thrash metal band and a death metal band and a doom metal
That's
band?
where
Well,
we
that's what we
came
tried,
from, that
yeah.
era, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
In the 90s, that's what you did. You had, especially in Houston, you had rap bands, thrash bands, punk bands, metal bands, death metal, all together doing
Yeah.
festivals. And
That sounds fucking amazing. Why
Well,
doesn't
that's
that
what
happen
we're trying
anymore?
to do again. Me and
Yeah.
Eve have definitely. We've all decided, but because me and Eve, we've been in bands together for damn near 30 years almost.
yeah,
and
Wow.
we were in an all-girl hardcore band named Manhole back in the 90s. So that's
that-
where Allison and I were.
Does music for that still exist? Like, if
Yeah.
I wanted to
Oh,
hear
yeah,
that, can I
that's
find
on
it?
Reverb Nation,
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm
all-female
gonna check that
hardcore.
out.
Yeah.
I like the
Manhole.
idea of all-female bands because it doesn't seem to happen very often. There's not a whole lot of them. I don't know what it's like, at least in the metal scene, and this could be an unpopular opinion, and I may or may not be wrong, but like women are just kind of off to the side. Like, I wouldn't say as a whole in the metal scene, women are just generally seem to be dismissed.
Well, you know, that sort of happened in the 90s as well, but we kept pushing through, and so did a lot of female bands. And Manhole gets together and does reunions now and then still.
Yeah.
But, you know, like Allison was saying, that's what we're trying to do now, is to try to produce shows that are crossovers. So if you come to some of our shows, you're going to see a mixture of bands because
That's what I want to see at a show.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's we have talked as the Texas Metal Show about doing our own live shows, and it's going to happen one day. It just hasn't happened yet because it takes a little bit of money, and money's been a little bit tight. But that was our thing. Like, when I do Texas Metal Show Presents Live in a concert or whatever, I want to have all different kinds of bands play. Because if you're listening to the show and if you're a fan of the show, which I know there's a few of you out there, we played Tri-County Terror, which
Oh,
isn't
I love
even
them so
essentially
much.
a heavy metal band, but like they have great fast music. we try to embrace everyone. I know it says Texas Metal Show, but that, sometimes, it's kind of an umbrella term.
Yeah.
We kind of shove some punk music in there every night. You have to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of psych rock too. So I do like that idea of mixing the genres together.
Awesome.
Allison, you play in Supergrave. You also play in Baron von Bombast. What else do you do?
I also sing for Dolly Rockers every once in a while, but we happen to be playing this coming up Friday for Hunter's 10-year anniversary. Hunter was one of the original guitar players for Poor Dumb Bastards, and he passed away next Friday, 10 years. And
so it's just like a salute show, like
yeah,
in remembrance kind of show.
Yeah, it's gonna be Dolly Rockers and Poor Dumb Bastards, of course, and what's the other band?
Manhole.
Yeah,
In a while.
yeah. And I sing for Manhole still. And yeah.
Andy, you were Supergrave, Doomstress, Texas Massacre. Anything else that we're missing from that list?
Well, I just picked up a touring act from Orlando called Toxic Shock, thrash metal, from New York from the 80s, and I'm going to be doing 6 shows here in Texas with them.
Fuck yeah.
First weekend of August and second weekend of August, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 9th, 10th, and 12th. So we're going to be at Rudyard's on the 12th.
I love
August 12th.
Rudyard's.
It's going to be that's going to be a great show. It's going to be Supergrave, Toxic Shock, and Texas Massacre. So I'll be playing in all 3.
Fuck, dude, that's I don't know how you're gonna pull that up. We'll
Yeah.
try. We will definitely try to be there, especially on a Saturday. And Eve, do you play outside of Supergrave and Manhole?
I do. So in Supergrave, I play bass. Manhole, I play guitar. I just joined Truck Stop Assassins, a rap band.
Oh, that sounds
So-
pretty. That sounds awesome, though. That name is
Yeah.
pretty fucking great.
Oh,
Truck
they're
Stop
so
Assassins.
good.
We're premiering this new lineup on August 25th for the Chris LaForge benefit over at Warehouse Live. So.
I think I might have seen something about that on the internet.
And so Supergrave, Truck Stop Assassins, and Andy and I are working on a little side project, sort of a rock project, stoner rock.
Just add some more on. I like the word stoner. What's that called? Do you have a name?
We don't have a name yet.
No.
Any ideas? Spitball. Come on, riff some ideas.
No, we
What do you think?
can't. We can't do
No?
it. We
Okay.
can't.
Okay.
It's really
Just
a stoner
in
project.
case
Kinda
someone-
get just getting off the ground. It's going to be
Yeah.
So we're not quite there for the name yet.
Yeah.
But something is happening. A child is being born.
Yes.
And it has the word stoner in it. So
It's got
I'm
that
excited.
70s Sabbath feel. That whole it's going to be cool.
So as Supergrave, how do you guys go about writing your music? What's the writing process like?
Basically, they write the music and then I write the lyrics. I mean, fortunately. Yeah, I mean, we
So
all.
it's Adrian, right? Yeah. Okay, hold on, just 1 second, everyone. I'm gonna scoot
in
this
here.
towards you just a little bit. If you want to make a note on us interrupting the show. So Adrian just said that whatever he happens to be listening to at the time really kind of influences what you're doing.
Yeah.
So what are you listening to right now? If you were going to go home right now and put on a fucking record, what kind of music are you into right now?
Right now I've been listening to the Pixies.
Yeah?
I'm sure you heard of the Pixies.
Yeah, oh, yes, of course.
So that's something I got in mind right now for the next new song. Probably write something along the lines of the Pixie, but heavier, you know. That's it, I guess.
So when you play guitar?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you come up with like a tasty riff or whatever the fuck you want to call it, what do you like bring it to Eve and you're like, look, this is what I want to do. Can you lay something down on this to make it sound even better? Do you guys?
Right. We trade a lot of phone recordings off and on, or we'll jam on something at practice, or I have ideas too that I shoot off to the guys. So in fact, we're premiering. This is our new lineup, and so we're premiering 2 new songs. Well, we have 2 new songs that we've written with this lineup. So, which is No Holds Barred, which is on Reverb Nation, and then the last song that we're playing tonight called Empire of the Sun. That's our brand new song.
And when you sit down to write a song, how do you go about writing something for Supergrave?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I wouldn't have asked if I didn't want to know.
He's laughing. I sit in my bedroom in my underwear.
Yeah, well, no, look, I'll tell you what, if you've ever listened to the Texas Metal Show, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably almost naked when I'm recording whatever it is that we're putting out. So that's pretty fucking normal. Yeah, he has seen me in my underwear more times than any human being besides Elizabeth.
So basically, I just sit down and I play with my guitar, and or my bass, whatever, and I just start. You know, it also, like Adrian said, it also is influenced by what we're listening to at the moment. So
what have you been listening to recently?
Well, my go-to is always Neurosis. So I mean, I love that.
They've got a couple Neurosis albums in the record store right here, and I was like, should I spend the $40? Like, fuck, I really want to hear this. I got some Municipal Waste and Toxic Holocaust, but it didn't cost me an arm and a leg, so I'm excited to hear this. They don't. As soon as I saw it, I fucking snacked it up real quick.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Damn it.
What about you, Andy? When you come along and they give you some guitar riffage with some bass riffage, how do you mold the drums to what you hear?
Basically, I ask them, hey, what are you feeling? What are you thinking about? When you write this kind of stuff? What kind of tempos you're looking for? And then we go from there. I'm big on arrangements. I like to arrange everything and put it together in a time situation, and make it exciting from beginning to end. Make it hard and heavy.
There's some. Oh shit! Andrew's our unofficial photographer. So Allison,
something going on.
So
maybe from over there so you can get everybody.
We've got some guitar done, some bass done, and the drums come along. How do you form your lyrics to the song? Do you listen to the song first and write lyrics as you listen, or do you have an idea of maybe a song, what you want a song to be about before you even hear anything?
Usually, I mean, every once in a while, because I write music too, sometimes with lyrics, but very rarely.
Like write guitar or bass or okay.
But I am mostly inspired by what I'm hearing, by what they're giving me. I do have like a couple of ideas, songs that are like just loose words, and I tighten them up later according to the structure of the song. But generally, when they give me something, and like say if we're writing something at practice, it just kind of something inspires a couple of words. I build songs on words, like 2 or 3 words, and I do a lot of Eve influence. Like whenever I want to tighten something up, I sit at home in my little chair at my desk in my underwear with a glass of wine and a cat. And
what kind of wine?
Usually Chardonnay.
Yeah, I like real red. I like red wines. I'm a big red wine fan myself.
Right on. Well, I'm not picky, you know.
Oh, drunk is drunk. I mean, fuck it. Hold on, we got some pictures going on. How much influence does the rest of the band have when it comes to lyrics? If Allison is like, hey, look, I wrote this song called whatever the fuck it's called. Here's the lyric sheet. This is what I did. What do you guys think? Do you guys give feedback? Or, well, maybe on this chorus we could change this to this. Do you guys do anything when it comes? Yeah.
Me and Eve are really good about, especially her ear as far as restructuring the lyrics in a different pattern. Mm-hmm. She's got really good input on that. Generally, if I write the song lyrically, she doesn't mess with that part. But as far as the structure goes, she has a lot of really good input. On the other hand, she, like our last song, she brought me the lyrics and the song completely.
What was this song called?
Empire of the Sun, and we're going to play that tonight.
Okay, awesome. And there's no recording of that yet?
No. You're hearing it today for the first time.
Fuck yeah.
And I'll be reading the lyrics off of paper.
hey, there's nothing, sometimes you got to read lyrics off of paper. Look, if Rob Halford still has to have sometimes a monitor on stage to get his lyrics, there's no shame in reading off a piece of paper. Fuck you, Rob Halford. Oh, I'm almost 70. I can't remember breaking the law. I mean, come on. Sorry, Rob Halford. I love you. I love your music. I apologize for being an asshole. Where are we at? What are we time frame wise? for 20 minutes for this whole... Okay. Hold on, let me ask you guys one or two more questions. It's almost 6 o'clock, so I don't know when you guys need to actually get up and get ready to go.
Pretty soon.
All right. What was the very first Supergrave show like? Do you remember?
It was with Against the Grain.
Yeah, it was with Against the Grain
I
at
fucking
Rudyard's.
love Against the Grain.
Oh my God, they're like one of my favorite bands on the planet. Well, you talk, say.
Come on,
Yeah, the
Adrian.
first show we had was, 3 years ago with Against the Grain at Rudyard's.
And it was amazing!
Yes, it was.
What song do you guys want to play? What song can I get to play on this show after we do this interview? Looking at you, Eve.
Oh, you mean Supergrave song?
Yes. I'm sorry, I should have been more specific.
No Holds Barred.
All right, so here it is, No Holds Barred by Supergrave. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thanks for
Hopefully
having us.
we can sit down and do a whole 45-minute interview if you guys are interested.
Absolutely,
That would be
yeah.
fucking awesome. Anything else we need to bring up, babe? Anything at all?
Rock and roll!
Hell, fire, burning over coaling. Never mind, flames, desire, drug through the absence over wonder. When the death pile on grub, tightly, undoing what's been done by letting go of the past. Take gain, lightly, sailing wings of gold, may your flights everlast. No holds barred. No holding back. Hail, a fire, burning over coal and never mind, the ever mind flamed desire, drug through the absence over wonder, and the death pile on grab tightly, undoing what's been done by letting go of your past. Take gain, lightly, sailing wings of gold, may your flight ever last. No holds barred. No holding back. No holds barred. No holding back. No holds barred. No holds barred. No holding back. No holds barred. No holding back. No holds barred. No holding back. No holds barred.
Thanks for listening to the show. All right, here are some pre-recorded plugs for shows going on all around Texas that you should probably know about. If you have a large festival going on anywhere in Texas or a big show, send us an email at texasmetalshow@gmail.com and we'll do a plug for it. It's that fucking easy, guys. A Day in the Valley of Death, 666 weekend, February 23rd, 24th, and 25th at the Hop Shop in Harlingen, Texas. You are not gonna want to miss this badass 3-day fucking death, grind, black, fucking extreme metal festival. The lineup is not complete, but right now we're looking at bands like Wolf Skull, Aesoltech, Putrid Womb, Cheese Grater Masturbation, which is still one of the best band names I've ever fucking heard, Giant of the Mountain, Vex, and so many fucking more. Get your tickets now, book a hotel room. It's gonna be one kick-ass weekend. Let me tell you a little bit about Brash Brewing. Not only do they make some of the best craft beer in Texas, they are the only heavy metal brewery that I'm aware of. They're big supporters of the local scene. They're big supporters of the Texas Metal Show. They have badass food trucks at their location, and they have a giant selection of awesome arcade games. Check them out at 508 West Cross Timbers Road, Houston, Texas.